This is the second part, GWT, West Truther channel here, and the Wonder Man channel. Similar to a biblical predicted rapture, causing many to believe, and their performance will be the performance of a God. I said at the end of my last video, I mentioned that the powers that be, they have a machine that can lift up large groups of people physically off the ground in front of witnesses, and they can take them away from your vision, just like a rapture. Except, anyway, folks, y'all believe what you want to, but I'm telling you right now, if people are standing around and they ain't Christians and they see a bunch of people picked up in the air, what do you think they're going to do? Then, as preconceived calculations of the New World Order of the Roman and Pharaonic aristocracy, the resistance to the universal religion will result in holy wars that will take more human lives than never before imagined in our human history, folks. Because when all of these different gods appear over these different countries and tell them their religion their whole belief system is wrong, and this is what's right, and I'm your God, and you need to listen to me, or you better listen to me, what do you think all them people are going to do? And then when what they're getting differs from what other countries are getting, it's a good plan, folks. It's a real good plan. The sodium layer above us, the sodium layer in our air up here under the dome between the electromagnetic frequency, which we call a dome, it's just the upper part of it. Between that and us, there is a sodium layer above us, and it will become as a movie screen of laser images. Each country will see their God returning to tell them their corrections and their perspectives and their interpretations and belief systems. And according to the Blue Beam Project, all the gods, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, and Jesus, and they will all give corrections to each of their people, and then all the visible gods will come together as one God, the Antichrist. And all peoples will be expected to accept, adopt, and believe the newly discovered religion as one religion and one people. That's a cool trick if they can make that all work out for them. This Hollywood-type production will touch all of the senses and emotions of all the people everywhere, and political leaders will program their followers that some other country has deceived them as fools and that the deceivers need to be punished. While the people forget all about 9/11 and the planet globe hoax and Fukushima, just forget about all of the stuff that the U.S. government has done and listen to them and go attack somebody else. The religious fanatics, through demonic electromagnetic frequency possessions, will make life for most a chaotic social and religious disorder type of world. Sound like fun to you, don't it? Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And in addition, the Sky Show will occur at a time of profound worldwide political anarchy and general population tumult and chaos because of some worldwide controlled catastrophe. Now, folks, any of y'all that's listening to me, I guarantee you, however many real people is listening to me, all but just a couple of you know what I'm talking about, and you know that this crazy bunch can create a worldwide catastrophe. All of this other stuff. Let me tell you something, folks. Y'all are going to like this lesson right here. The United Nations already plans to use Beethoven's Song of Joy as the national anthem for the New Age One World religion. In 1974, a certain researcher, G.F. Shapitz, S-H-A-P-I-T-S, said of one of the early research proposals that, this is what he said about it, he's a doctor, in this investigation, it will show that the spoken words of the hypnotist may also be converted by electromagnetic frequencies and energies directly. That's with accuracy, folks, to the subconscious part of the human brain or any target, folks, without employing any mechanical device or implanted device or object for receiving or transcoding the message or the command, and without the person or people exposed to such influence having any chance to control the information input consciously. And mental commands through frequencies you will accept willingly without resistance. This is coming, folks, y'all, and it's already been on a bunch of people that are, and a lot of them ain't no longer with us. G.F. Shapitz went on to say that it may be expected that the rationalized behavior will be considered to have been taken out of their own will. But they're completely mentally controlled, which controls them physically too. But yet it's going to look like they're the one doing it. Because they're the one doing it. But they're controlled. Y'all don't think that can happen. What they have on the table is using the Solar Warden, Star Wars offense, not Star Wars defense system, it's a Star Wars offense system. That's what they've been using it for ever since they had it. Offense. With its plasma and lasers, direct energy and frequencies to create a combination. They're using the Solar Warden and their plasma lasers, the whole system, with the frequencies to create a combination of electromagnetic radiation and hypnosis to control your senses and your emotions and controlling your focus on thought process. Now, I screwed that up. I'm going to read it again. I'm really sorry I did that. What they have on the table is using the Solar Warden Star Wars defense system with its plasma and lasers, cannons and stuff, and its direct energy and frequency weaponry to create a combination of electromagnetic radiation and hypnosis. This is mass mind control to control your senses and your emotions, which controls your focus on your thought process. But I wouldn't laugh if I were y'all. You can make fun of me all you want to. I'm used to that. But I wouldn't make fun of what I'm saying, folks. This is the real deal right here. The Swiss Octagon's New World Order military is channeling to humanity. Some of y'all folks look at or look up to channelers. And some of the channelers have a heck of a program. I've looked at a bunch of them myself. But the Swiss Octagon's New World military is channeling to the Goyen, to the sheeple. And many channelers are channeled. Whoa, how about that? The pharaonic Roman Illuminati are force-feeding the new Google quantum computers with all of this stuff, folks. It was supercomputers in Russia, mind control, MK Ultra, and now we got quantum computers that can take control of everything. All of the military arsenal, all of the biochemical weapon, everything. They can take control of everything. They can stop the gas, turn the electricity off. They can control the heart machine, turn the heat up, turn the heat down, make it rain, make it dry. Oh, happy days is ahead of us, folks. There was an article published in the Sydney Morning newspaper on March 21st, 1983, which announced that the Soviets were invading the human mind. This article was submitted to the foreign editor by Dr. Nathan Abnouenji, assistant professor to the Facility of Agriculture in Asia. The article relates to the Soviets who created a supercomputer used to begin mind mass control through frequencies that can talk to your mind, your body, and your soul conscience. You can hear voices. The editor of the article column stated that the article made points too important to ignore. Think of the New World Order's advancement since the 70s, MK Ultra, even older than that. The Swiss Nazis from Germany have always run NASA. The Blue Beam Project, that's the mines that it comes from. And the Pentagon, they run that too. All under full control of the Swiss Octagon. Their Project Blue Beam goes with telepathic and electronically augmented two-way communication. You can talk to the frequencies, talk to the hand. Remember that? Where ELF, VLF, and LF waves will reach each person from within his or her own mind, convincing that person or persons that a God is speaking to them from their soul and they better act. These frequencies will interlace with natural thinking to form a condition named diffuse artificial thought. Diffuse artificial thought. It's got two F's in it. Our brains operate like computers, so a mechanical and biological supercomputer can reach into our bodies, minds, and soul conscience. January 1991, the University of Arizona hosted a conference entitled the NATO Advanced Research Workshop on Current Frequency and Emergent Phenomena and Biomolecular Systems. That's a mouthful. I'll say it one more time. The NATO Advanced Research Workshop on Current Frequency and Emergent, EMERGENT, Phenomena and Biomolecular Systems. Keep in mind, nearly 100% of all the scientists work for government. So they don't care what the government does with their work and with their discoveries. One paper at that conference stated that the U.S. has developed communications equipment which can make the blind to see, the deaf to hear, and the lame to walk. Technology can relieve the terminally ill from pain without drugs or surgery. This communications equipment can, through frequencies, connect to the brain and neuromuscular systems. That means it can control your body and connects to the body's radiation pulses at ultra-low frequencies. The CIA and the FBI use this equipment on their victims, foreign and domestic. It will never be used to make the blind to see. It will never be used to make the deaf to hear or the lame to walk because it is central to the domestic political agenda and foreign policy of George Bush and his puppet masters, the Swiss Octagon, Illuminati, New World Order. There's your sign. Domestically, this communications equipment is being used to torture and murder persons who match computer-generated match profiles, who are selected from screening areas of populations for terrorists. Used to torture and murder citizens who belong to organizations who oppose the development and deployment of nuclear weapons. It's used to torture and murder citizens who belong to organizations which promote tolerance and peace and development in lesser countries. Used to torture and murder targeted individuals and researchers for the whole truth. Used to create a race of slave cult automatons, or what is called Manchurian candidates. In private labs, prison-type facilities, asylums, and secret underground facilities, experimentation is on hostages held by the United States, Canada, Great Britain, Australia, Germany, Finland, and France. Lots of computer scientists that had connections to the United States Navy are being found dead from some type of suicide. A question to wonder about for yourself, wonder about it. Is any government or corporation or psychiatrist a willful participant to promote this kind of horror on humanity? Well, the obvious answer is yes. The Octagon's Illuminati, New World Order.